What is up, guys? In today's video we are going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, going over what I think they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game right now. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolvedJake, just like my channel name is, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. So I'm trying to go Sinister Strip just because it was pretty early on in the bus path, and there is a Spidey web shooter spawn here, so I was hoping some people would kind of go for it. This player seems like they might be. Alright, here, eliminate me. Thank you. I wanted to not get in the middle of that initially in case the person who kills me gets eliminated before I actually spectate them. You see how it takes like an hour, literally, to just start spectating the person that eliminated you? They die before that happens, and you just get sent across the map to who knows who. Not like the person that just eliminated them usually. But we are going to be on board with Monkey Donkey. I don't remember if the Spidey web shooter was on top or not. I don't think I looked. Okay, it's not. It spawns like right on that wall. This should be an easy kill for him though, because that's like a fight that is... Oh no. Okay. I was worried when he had the spire there. I was going to say that's a fight that's just like completely random for both players, and we're earlier on enough in the match where both people probably aren't that healthy anyway. So him like coming to third party there was just an absolute easy elimination. But when he was using the spire and didn't immediately get the kill, I was kind of concerned, since it does like shoot a bit slower if that guy actually got away with their mobility. The fact that he didn't get the Spidey web shooters would mean that I would be very inclined to just rush towards the middle of the map as fast as I could and try to get shock rocks. Like still get heals and, you know, a bit of loot and everything, but I wouldn't want to loot the entirety of this POI just in hopes that I find some. Probably gonna get the Mythic Warforged share. That's what you get from doing this Harley Quinn. And the Mythic Warforged is incredibly good. Might be a little bit weird to use at the start of the game here because it runs through ammo really quick. And he doesn't have the most medium ammo. But that's, you know, that's a problem that can be solved with a kill or two. But this is probably one of the fastest killing weapons in the game right now. Like the potential of the Mythic Warforged is incredibly high. It just is not the most accurate, so it lacks, you know, for range, but also lacks for like moments where you're chasing enemies using mobility, which is like a very frequent situation that will happen this season. He does have the sniper to shore up like the range weakness, and I think if you are gonna snipe, it makes a lot of sense to run this Warforged. But dealing with people using mobility could still be a problem. Like people using shock rocks, people using Spidey. I feel like all those people are probably gonna have an easier time escaping him than they would if he was using maybe even just a regular Warforged, but like the Ranger pistol for sure. And that's why the Ranger pistol is dominated this season. Not only is it just, you know, incredibly good on paper, but it's also just the best item for dealing with people using mobility, which tend to be, you know, the more important fights throughout the course of a game. And him not having shock rocks is concerning to me. Like the fact that he didn't go towards the middle of the map. I think looting this building is mostly a waste of time. Whereas like getting towards the middle of the map and getting those shock rocks would help his game a lot. It does get a bit weird to like kind of decide which mobility item to use, I feel like, when you are only going to carry one. Like if he does want to continue to carry the sniper. But if I was going to carry just one, it would definitely be shock rocks. I don't know what he's doing now. He's going to the outskirts. I might switch off of him. Especially this season, it could be weird to make these videos because he might just be wanting to like get sprites or to level this sprite that he just got and then extract it. Which, you know, makes sense, but it doesn't make for a very interesting video. Try to swap around a little bit and see if we can spectate anybody that's in a populated area. Doesn't really seem like it though. This guy's on the edge of the map, and so was the other one. This one is underground. Mr. Space 67. There we go. I'm concerned that this player has a Chaos Exploder AR, but we'll see what happens. Does have a legendary extended focus. Has some shock rocks on his character. Boots. He's gonna get in this tree and try to extract here. I kind of don't like this. I feel like the bush is better. You are like closer in the tree, but like time is not a huge problem. It takes like a minute for the thing to come here and then like quite a while for it to leave if no one puts anything in. I guess this spot is a little bit better, but like any of these like tree spots, I feel like you could be... He's so susceptible to just like hoping that no one sees him. Maybe it works out though. Nice. There's people fighting in the outskirts in the desert. That might not be real though. The way they're shooting kind of sounds like how bots shoot. Get the perfectly accurate Chaos Exploder with the mythic boots. I've said this before, but we are so fortunate they nerfed the Chaos Exploder because this thing was absurdly overpowered at the start of the season, and it did get nerfed relatively quickly, like within the first week or two. If that thing was just like dominant throughout this entire season, I feel like things would have been very different. Player under him doesn't seem real though. There's always a lot of bots in this area. Oh, this is a player we were spectating earlier. Nice. I was hoping to kind of get back on him. Maybe if he was, you know, done looting on the outskirts. He does still have that sprite, so I guess he wasn't, you know, just concerned about that. Also has mythic boots, which I am not a fan of the boots at all. I think they're one of like the weaker mobility items that Fortnite has ever added. But one of the interesting things about them is when you aim down sights while sliding, your gun becomes perfectly accurate. And I talked before about how one of the main problems with this player's inventory... Oh, he headshot sniped that guy. One of the main problems with the Mythic Warforged is the accuracy. And so using the boot slide, you can make it like very accurate and then sure up that weakness of the weapon. I would want to see him shockwave on this and then just try to slide. But I think he's overplaying for the snipe, which could be a bit of a problem. I don't know where the guy went. Are they still on that loot? They just leave? That's the person we were spectating a moment ago. Yeah, okay, they're still on that loot. Also an AI. If that was a real player though, and they were like running towards that extract, if he like shockwaved at them, he could have like caught them. And then slide with the boots. You have the perfectly accurate AR at that point, and you just shred. But with this setup, he has not the greatest like fighting or like repositioning mobility. Okay, it goes back to the Spidey web shooters. The same thing is true though. This is that Jonesy from earlier that's using the Chaos. I don't think he hit that snipe. The Chaos does like create like a weird situation for this Jonesy because he probably thinks he can splash damage the current player we're spectating off a cover, but the splash damage on the Chaos Exploder is not that like threatening anymore. Like this player could kind of ignore that and then just try to hit a snipe. I don't know what happened though. Okay, they're still there. He's above him on this building. He's just trying to get like a right shoulder peek, but it's weird. Okay, that worked, but like I don't like the way he played that. I feel like he could have hit like some sprinting like low ground shots on the Jonesy when he was on the building, and it would have just been a very like easy, clean fight. Got a better chug jug now at least though. Sketchy thing is he doesn't have shock rocks on his character and also doesn't have an air sprite, and with these Spidey web shooters you can actually take fall damage when you're shot out. I thought they fixed it because I hadn't taken fall damage and no one I had encountered had taken fall damage, but it's just because everybody had shock rocks on their character that I came against that used it. And these shock rocks prevent you from taking fall damage if they're on your character. Like you don't even have to use them. I'm interested to see if he's just doing this to level his sprite or if he actually wants a mythic pistol. But if you are going to, basically what I was trying to say is if you are going to use the Spidey web shooters, you definitely want to have an air sprite, or you definitely want to have a some shock rocks on your character to just like negate the one big disadvantage of using them. Oh, this player is just going to throw out shots with the bank shot pistol, and if one of them lands, they probably just full send him. He's going to try to do the same with the snipe though. Like whichever player hits a shot here probably just like wins the fight. Okay, now he gave himself away. This player's gonna push while he's trying to reload sniper. This is a fight that's like kind of better for the Maven too. Nice. So I prefer the extended focus to the Maven for sure, but like when you're that close and there's nowhere for the player we're spectating to go, the Maven is actually better, and this person had the mythic Maven. And also, if you guys did not know, if you interact with that dog after eliminating the guards, you do fill your HP. But what I was going to say is, like, going for that dog this late in the game just kind of didn't really make any sense. I don't know if he, like, really liked the lance head pistol or not, but when you do that, you're just kind of drawing attention to yourself, and then, you know, potentially get third-partied, potentially have a really weird fight down in that underground area where it's hard to reset because you're in that, like, underground area. You can't, like, shock rock out. And it ended up costing him. And that, like I was saying before, that's like an ideal situation for the Maven because this player didn't have to worry about shock rocks. This is not great for either person. I think both people are pretty weak here. The person we're spectating is going to keep fighting though. This probably does win them the fight. They use the shock rocks well. Nice. None of the person third partying them though. Oh no, that's unfortunate. He tried to shockwave away and his character like mantled the thing. Now he has no shock. He has no movement at all. The only movement it has is pocket shockwave, and yeah, he's died. So someone hiding in a bush. But he tried to shockwave away, and his character like ended up on the log. That's actually so sad. This person has the mythic ranger pistol, which absolutely melts. But you saw the way that the person we were previously spectating used the shock rocks in the fight. I think they did well. The person under them in the tree like thought they were using cover on the tree, but it like didn't even matter because the person we were spectating went up and over them and kind of like broke their camera. You get very little audio on the shock rocks, and so the person just had no idea what happened. What I was gonna say though is the extended focus shotgun does have better range than the Maven and like better spread, and so like typically I feel like it's a better weapon for utilizing in shock rock fights, or like using shock rocks could be one of the things that would like be an advantage for the extended focus. But the way the previous player kind of just like stayed on top of the person they were fighting, it actually worked out pretty well. It's not that the Maven is terrible with shock rocks, but like I feel like the extended focus, having more range and having more accuracy, you can kind of just like dash to the side, shoot them, dash to the other side and shoot them. Unfortunately for this player though, I think they've been playing incredibly passive, and they don't have very much loot. They don't have much gold. Normally at this point in the game, I feel like you should be like relatively stacked on gold to the point where like nothing matters. Like he could buy another chug jug. Luckily he gets bailed out and finds some minis and a big, but if he didn't find those, like trying to scavenge heals at this point in the game is rough. Now I like this player's odds, so. I don't know why they have no gold and like 6 kills though. And they don't have anything that should have been really expensive to buy. It's not like they bought a gold shotgun at some point or something, you know? Pistol you can't buy, and he has a mythic version of the ranger pistol. Another big pot there. This is actually very very fortunate for this person. I'd assume they're gonna go find another bush in that area to just sit in. Oh, there's somebody pushing him with boots. Just wants to get away. I feel like if there's somebody using boots near you, you can often just kind of chill and catch them off guard because the boots are very loud and the audio range for the boots is very large. And so normally you'll have a better awareness of the boot player than they'll have on you. And so if he just like chilled next to that tree, I wonder if the boot player would have just like went past him not knowing he was there. Now there's more people fighting around him, and I think the boot player is kind of going for that fight, which is like pretty fortunate for him. Wait, what? I did not mean to do this. He's gonna chill in this bush. There's somebody web shooting on him though. Oh my god, that bunker was the worst case scenario for him. That's one of the really nice things you can do with the Guardian shield. When you use mobility, a lot of times people will chase you and shoot you, but like turning and just shielding, you can actually protect yourself. It doesn't always need to be just, you know, on the ground holding it. And I don't know if this person like really likes using the Guardian shield or they just, you know, had it because it was there. This is probably gonna be the end of their game though. Because he has to like overuse the shield to protect himself here, and so it's going to go on cooldown, but also it's very likely there's more players in Battlewood. That would have been a potential kill maybe. Oh no. This person's going to be able to chase him with the crash pads too. He wants to get to this bush and heal. When he shot that player out and they were in the ditch, that could have been a potential kill. The Ranger pistol mythic kills incredibly fast, but he just didn't hit enough shots. And that would have been a nice kill to get because not only does he need to heal, but like I was saying, there's a lot of people in this area. So if he gets that kill, like a lot of pressure is off him. The 1v1v1. There's not a lot of people, but it feels like it. This person needs a smoke. At this point, any two players that fight probably just get third-partied. And so if you're this player, you want to just not overextend in any fight. If he could like just beam this guy with the ranger pistol and get the kill that way, that would be really good. I think the other person is coming from Battlewood too, though. Oh, there they are. This is so unfortunate for him. This person knows if they fight, they're dead. If he just like hadn't shot, things might have just like went perfectly for him. They might have fought in front of him and then he could third party it. He's not in zone. And he doesn't have that much mobility. He does have the crash pads, which is really nice that he took this because you get 2 with like a very fast cooldown. But doesn't have any other mobility. And so like timing can just screw him over. Like if a fight happens right now that he really needs to reset, things could be bad. And you would need the mobility here because the other person's just going to third party. Okay, luckily he got him off of him without taking much damage. Zone goes his way, that's good. But there's not really any cover here or anything, so it kind of sucks. Like there is some trees, but the fact that he doesn't have that much mobility, it's very nice that he got blessed on zone. If it went to like the far side here, game would have been hard for him. But this is really just going to come down to timing. He needs to get a kill here, like basically for free, because both these people are going to be pushing into him. So if he has any kill that goes long, it's going to be really bad because he doesn't have the mobility to reset and the other person is just going to third party. Both of these people could be decently weak though. Guardian, this is worst case for him. You do not want a long fight here because now the other person's coming. He's used one of his crash pads and he's dead. But now the other person is probably going to think they're third partying something here, but they're really not. This guy didn't really have to like take damage or anything in that fight. And so he can just keep kind of like sliding around with the shotgun, trying to like break this player's camera. And GG's. They're going to... Oh no. If he gets that res up before he gets up there, this is actually horrendous. Okay, he got it. I don't know why he took fall damage there. Like he could have just grabbed the thing. Maybe because the other player was using it, he couldn't. I don't know. But he played that fight pretty well. When it's a 1v1v1 like that, the other person has zone. He has to go there. The other person knows that he has to go there. And so if he is going to push, he needs to like get the kill quickly and cleanly, and he ended up accomplishing that. And then he also had the Guardian shield to not take a lot of damage on the third party, and then just, you know, utilizing the movement and the cover and just kind of jump sliding around with the extended focus shotgun. He was able to like tap that player down and just not really take any damage in the fight. Got a bit messy in the underground area, but if he had a bit of shock rocks on his character, he wouldn't have taken that fall damage. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.